I'm Antora.
I'm Megan.
And today we are going to talk about some of the week's TV. Basically, the way these videos are going to go is that we're going to talk about probably 4 or 5 shows a week, kind of try and mix it up so we get to a lot of different ones. And this week we're starting with Revenge on ABC. So this week's episode of Revenge, Amanda died. That was kind of a big deal. And now Jack is in the hospital. So we were kind of wondering, where does this leave Emily in terms of all the love interests she has? I mean, clearly at the wedding we saw that Emily, do you think she's over Jack? I mean, do you think she was ready to really let him go after he had his son and after the wedding with Amanda?
I don't know, I felt it was pretty obvious that she wasn't. I mean, she started crying and all.
And I feel like she has a lot more appreciation for Aiden now. But then where does that leave her and Daniel? Will she be able to like fake her feelings for him? Do you think she still has feelings for him?
I think she still has feelings for all of them. I don't think she knows what she feels.
That's true. That's pretty problematic. So I'm really interested to see in the next weeks what's going to happen with that. Like, will Emily actually pursue something with Daniel for her own interests and then build up something with him, or will she be more dedicated to Jack and being by his side since the tragic boat accident murder plot?
I don't know. Personally, I think she's probably going to be off with Jack because, you know, Daniel and them, they're all dealing with the murder, and she, you know, she was close with Amanda too, so she's going to be supporting Jack, who will need it the most right now.
So Nolan, as always, is the best friend ever and the greatest character, in my opinion. He's my favorite. And his whole deal with Padma, the initiative, and the program.
I don't know. I think she's gonna give him part of it, because didn't he give him didn't Nolan give her an unfinished carry-in program to?
Yeah.
So she's gonna give that. That's what she's gonna do to get her father back.
But will it work?
Probably not, because the dad's probably already dead.
Yeah, I guess one finger in a box.
It's not proof of life.
Yeah.
You can cut a finger off a dead body.
True. That's true.
They've proven that in every crime show known to man, probably.
Hopefully, for her sake, her father is alive, but it's doubtful, because from everything we know about the initiative, they aren't very lenient. Or merciful.
Or honest.
Yeah, that too. That's a big one. Okay, so another ABC show that we're very into is Once Upon a Time. So, okay, I guess big reveal, or was it a reveal that...
No reveal.
Says no. Okay, so what was the point where you thought that was going to happen? That Bae would be...
The first episode back. Okay. When he was introduced.
Well,
if you're anything, if you think anything like me, you totally figured out at the end when he got the postcard that he was both Bae and Emma's love interest that was Henry's father. But
I'm not so skilled, so I didn't see that coming. But I did after they were going to New York, and I was like, oh well, the only person we know there is Neil. So, but do you think that Rumpel will kill Henry or have a plan to kill Henry eventually? Do you think he would be willing to do that to save himself, or do you think that...
I think that is what's gonna end up costing him pretty much everything, because as we've already learned, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's true.
And he can't seem to learn that.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Speaking of that, the seer was really freaky. Cool, but freaky. Also, do you like Neil and Emma? Are you shipping that? Or are you shipping Hook and Emma? Because I've seen that all over Tumblr, and that's perfectly fine because Hook is amazing and, you know, pirate and very attractive, but I think Neil and Emma are actually really adorable. Plus, he's Henry's father, and I'm actually really interested to see how Neil plays into the whole dynamic in Storybrooke and how he's gonna get along with Snow and Charming.
Oh yeah, because they have to approve.
Yeah. And it's gonna be weird. As we've already learned, their family is very strange.
Well, okay, his timeline is messed up, and...
Okay, yes, we did have an issue about this. So, how old is Neil and how old is he supposed to be? Because, okay, when are we saying that he left Storybook with the curse?
Okay, I think Neil was supposed to leave when he was like 11 or so. And then it took Wumple a bit of time to actually create the curse. Because he left, and then that was the whole part with the seer where he went to figure out what he was supposed to do. And I think it took him a few years or so to get the curse, and then for Regina to actually get to the point where she would use the curse. And then Emma still hadn't been born yet.
Yeah.
So Emma's literally born the day of the curse. Which I feel like then he'd be like 14 or so, and then she...
I think he'd be older than 14 because I think that Bay, like, left to join the war effort, didn't he, when he was 14?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think he did.
Oh, wow.
And that's when...
So then he'd be like 20.
Yeah, so...
And she's like 28. Because then it waits another like 28 years for her to actually break the curse, and then... So he's like 40 and she's 28?
Yeah, but he clearly isn't, so...
Because he clearly looks like 3 years older. And that's about it.
Yeah, so not entirely sure how that worked out, or if it makes sense.
But it is a fairy tale world, so...
Anything could happen.
Exactly.
Grey's Anatomy. So, I'm not necessarily a veteran of this show because I did jump into it about 2 seasons ago. I actually spent the summer watching Grey's on Lifetime for hours because it would just be on all the time, and then I got really into it. So I watched last season. Now I'm very invested in this season.
Yeah.
The hospital. So many changes. I honestly thought that they weren't going to be able to sell. And I mean, I figured there would be some kind of way that it would have worked out because if there's no hospital, there's no show. But I don't know.
It's probably going to get renewed for next season, so it kind of needs the show.
Yeah. But I actually think it's really interesting that they had this whole like plot line of like selling the hospital because I think it changes a lot of things. I think it changes how they have to work together. I think it changes a lot of what is going to be like implemented at the hospital, and so I feel like a lot of their team dynamics are going to change a lot because now they're all in charge of this one entity and they don't always agree on stuff.
And none of them really even have experience. So
Yes.
what is
That's problematic.
Like the only ones are Richard and Owen. And did they even actually buy in, or did they just join the team to try and convince the one guy to give them the chance?
Exactly. And what does it mean now that Avery's on the board?
You know, I think that's going to change everything because he obviously doesn't even want the leadership role. Like he was just as shocked and upset it looked like. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so kind of interested to see how that plays out. So, speaking of ABC shows, they've all been doing really good, and Castle had a really interesting week, so we will have a blog post about our feelings on that because it was a really intense episode.
And we don't want this video to get too long.
Yes, so.
And that was not our intended thing. They just, shocked us with it.
Yeah, so go check out our blog post about it because it'll be exciting.
Yes.
Okay,